On this week's episode of BJ in the Morning, we're going to talk about twin movies, right? Let's go. Welcome to BJ in the Morning. I'm Juan.
I'm Brendan.
And look at us.
Look at us.
We are set up.
We have a completely different setup than the last time. The last time you saw us, it was totally different. It feels a little weird sitting like this right now.
Staring at each other?
Yeah, just right into each other's eyes.
Yeah.
Like, put my foot up on your chair.
Don't play footsies with me right now. Hey.
You're wearing slides and I have slip-ons.
With a big old hole in your sock?
Yeah, dude, I figured I'd wear these socks just for you. Just because, you know, you're not the only one with ripped up socks.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
I wore these the last time we recorded an episode as well, but I had different shoes on.
Oh.
So you couldn't see it.
Oh.
Yeah. They are clean. They have been clean since then.
I'm like, that was like 2 days ago.
They have been cleaned.
Just kidding.
But yeah, dude, we're talking about twin movies today.
Yeah.
Or copycat movies, if you will. It really depends on what you're used to hearing.
Yeah.
But should we explain it to them anyways, what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to get into before we start talking about the twin movies?
Anything you want to get into?
I don't know, but
other than the new set.
Other than the new set, it's still kind of a work in progress. We still
gotta make some tweaks.
There'll be tweaks. Also, we're not made of money, so we're using old stuff to make things work right now, and we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Once the money starts rolling in. But little changes like this just to keep things spiced up. I don't know. What's the word?
Keep the relationship spicy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, habanero spicy. But for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, and when we say twin films, twin films are films with the same or similar plots produced and released at the same time by two different film studios. So when I say that, there's probably a movie or two that pops into your head immediately.
Yeah. And we can give an example that sparked the idea because those movies are not out yet.
Right.
So we saw trailers for a movie called If.
The imaginary friend movie by
John
Krasinski, and starring Steve Carell's in it.
Steve Carell, Ryan Reynolds.
Family friendly movie. Family friendly, warm-hearted, light-hearted even. That's probably what I was going for when I first started talking in this sentence. Light-hearted, maybe possibly musical. I don't know. There's a shot in the trailer that they're singing and dancing, but they're also on a stage. So I'm not sure yet, but we do know how much Ryan Reynolds loves to sing and dance. So, really, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it looks interesting. But then I saw a trailer, or we both saw it apparently
at different times.
We saw a trailer for a movie called Imagination. Imaginary. You see, that's how much I know about this movie.
But that's also why we teamed up, because we got to keep each other in check sometimes.
Fact check and other checks.
Yeah. But yeah, imaginary.
And fat checks.
Freaking money rolling.
Get a freaking dump truck for all this money that we're getting.
But imaginary.
It's and this one is a horror movie.
Yeah.
And it looks like it could go two ways. It could be really corny, or it could be really scary.
Yeah.
And the trailer looks a little bit of both.
Yeah, there's definitely some parts in it where I'm like, nah. But I really think they might be going in the same way as like the Megan movie, you know, where it was still kind of funny, but also like could be scary when you really start thinking about it.
Yeah.
That whole vibe, it gives me that kind of vibe, like Chucky, those kind of things. Just especially because the trailer is centered around a teddy bear.
But then it's Blumhouse.
Yeah.
So Blumhouse is very inconsistent when it comes to their horror movies. Because they got some really good, really scary movies.
And then silly ones.
And then there's some that it's like, wait.
You put your name on this?
Wait. Hang on. What? You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We don't know. We don't know too much about either one of these movies. We have not seen them yet, but we both started talking about copycat movies or twin movies,
and how it was interesting that they're both coming out this year,
around the same time.
Probably around the same time, and they have the same name and the same plot essentially.
Right, which got us thinking about other movies that have come out in the past. My mic stand has not fallen since we set it up, and then now it is.
All of the sudden.
But yeah, so the phenomenon of twin movies can happen when two or more production companies are invested in similar scripts at the same time, resulting in them racing to put out the movie before the other.
Yeah.
This has happened a lot throughout the history of film. So,
which is weird because just because it came out first doesn't make it better. You know?
Yeah, there's a couple movies because we have a list of some of the more popular twin/copycat movies that have come out. Sometimes the one that came out second is way better.
Is the better. Well, they took the time to actually do it better.
Yeah, but some of these movies have been so close together in time that it was just kind of left up to fate, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to point out that the first instance that's recorded of this copycat twin movie, what are we going to call it going forward? So I can just say one thing.
Copycat movies?
Copycat movies?
Yeah, let's do that.
It sounds more like sinister. Like they're spying on us.
Who's the copycat?
Who stole our idea?
Who's the copycat?
So the first instance of this happening was in 1913.
That's crazy.
With a movie called Ivanhoe.
Is it silent film?
I would assume so. It's from Britain. It is a historical film. I don't know anything about it.
But
an American adaptation was released this same exact year, which is what caused the copycat instance to be written down into history.
But they have the exact same name, too.
But you got to think, in 1913, movies from America and movies from Britain were not intermingling as they are now. You know, there wasn't the internet. They weren't streaming.
Yeah.
For both of them to come out around the same time in the same year, it is unlikely that they knew about it, or that they knew about it early enough to like make it a big thing.
Yeah.
But that's not beside anyone to do, right? Especially in 1913. Like,
yeah.
This wasn't too long after we declared independence. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. It was a long time, but you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, though.
It would have been harder for them to like talk about it or figure it out, because a lot of people do think that the twin movies, this copycat movie phenomenon, can be caused from industrial espionage. So some real spy versus spy kind of action, you know, where maybe someone left one studio and brought the ideas to another. But in all honesty, the way that like Hollywood works and the way that scripts are sold, scripts get passed around and they get passed on, or they get put into like production hell, basically, where they get rewritten, they get put on pause, they don't get made for years and years and years. So if someone's like, oh, I like that idea, but I want to change everything, and then that script goes to someone else too, multiple people can be looking at the same script and completely change the idea. Because if I was a writer,
you would just
I wouldn't
be like, read my script.
I wouldn't I wouldn't just give it to one person.
Yeah.
Because what if they don't read it? What if they don't like it?
Or what if you don't make a sale?
Yeah, you got to shop around.
Yeah.
You got to sell your script to everyone that wants to look at it. So this thing happens, and it's not necessarily an evil thing, but it happens a lot.
Right. So should we get into the more popular ones?
Yeah, I think there's probably, like I said at the top, there's probably some movies that come to your mind immediately. And the funny thing is, the list that we have here, this was one of the later instances where I was like, yep, they knew about it.
Yeah.
So the first ones on our list today is Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing both of these movies. One is a lot darker than the other.
Yeah.
The other is a little more, it's got some more comedy in it, I think. So one's got Gerard Butler in it, right?
Yep.
And then the other's Channing Tatum.
Of course.
One's got Morgan Freeman. And the other's Jamie Foxx as the president, right?
Yep.
So Morgan Freeman as the president in one, Jamie Foxx as the president in the other. Yeah. So already it's about the White House being attacked.
Yep.
And one security guard, for the most part, stops the whole thing. Someone trying out for the Secret Service, basically, right?
Yeah.
So,
but like the action in both of those movies are also very similar.
They are.
Like
the beats are almost one for one. Yeah.
And like the things that happen in the fight scenes is like, did you just copy and paste?
That's probably what happened for the most part. That script went out to two people and they tweaked it a little bit here or there.
And they're like, love it. The other place said, love it.
Yeah.
And
they shipped
here we
it.
are.
Yeah. But I can tell you that out of these two, the one I've seen the most is White House Down.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the opposite for me.
Yeah, you've watched Olympus Has Fallen more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw Olympus Has Fallen first. I think I saw that one in the theater. And I didn't see White House Down until way later.
Yeah, because they both came out in 2013. Do you know what the Rotten Tomatoes score is for either one of these? If you had to guess for Olympus Has Fallen or White House Down, which has the better Rotten Tomatoes score?
Olympus Has Fallen?
Wrong.
Really?
Yeah, White House Down by 2%. So it's 50 to 52%.
Wow.
Yeah, so just barely. People liked White House Down a little bit more.
It's
but also
comedy.
Channing Tatum was kind of on the rise at this point, like really making a name for himself. I don't remember when 21 Jump Street came out, but I feel like it was
around that time
too. So, but yeah, just barely beating it out, White House Down. But that comedy aspect, I think really, because like Jamie Foxx is great as a serious actor, but he also just has such like strong charisma about him, and that it's easy for him to just, I don't know, like tug at your heartstrings, just hit your funny bone a little bit. So, but yeah, out of those two, you prefer Olympus Has Fallen?
Yeah, and it's because I really like Gerard Butler. But now that I think about it, he's playing the exact same character
in most of his movies.
As like, what was
Gamer.
that one? Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, that one, I don't really remember what happened in that movie.
Okay.
I know it was a revenge plot or something, and he's in jail, and it's still going out.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, because then the next one on our list is animated.
Okay.
I've personally only heard of one of these. I've only seen one of these. Didn't know this was something on the list.
Yeah.
And that's the movie Madagascar.
Love it.
And The Wild.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to
move it.
Yeah, I've never heard of the other movie.
Me neither.
My thing's not loading. So
that's fine. I have it pulled up, and I can
just see the picture of the other one. Wild. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Never have seen it.
I feel like I might have seen parts of it. But Madagascar came out in 2005. The Wild came out in 2006. So, again, that script probably was going around. They both decided animated because it's animals.
Yep.
But I don't know who made The Wild. But DreamWorks made Madagascar. So,
yeah.
They probably had a little more production value behind them.
A little more push.
But out of the two, I think it's safe to say which one had a better Rotten Tomatoes score.
Madagascar.
Yeah. So it was 55% to 44%.
Dang.
So people still didn't like Madagascar all that much, but they liked it more than The Wild.
Well, the Rotten Tomato score, is that the audience score? Is that the thermometer?
The thermometer. Is that what it's called?
Thermometer.
Tomato meter.
Tomato meter.
Tomato meter.
Thermometer.
Tomato meter.
Tomato potato meter.
I don't know. These ones, some of these are certified, so it's going to be based more on the critic reviews versus the audience ones, right? Audience scores are totally different because anyone can leave a review for a movie, and that's why we see so many good movies get like really terrible reviews when people don't agree with something that happened in the movie. Thanks, internet.
Thank you. Jesus.
Oh, there's a girl superhero? Bomb it. It was the worst. It was the worst movie I ever seen. I'm like, The Marvels was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't dislike it. But the next one on our list, because we're going to get into it, is the one that even back in the day, as a child, in 1998, we were 6. Yeah.
Dang.
Even then, I knew something was fishy when these two movies came out. They both came out in 1998. I know you saw the phone. I was going to see if you would guess which ones I'm talking about, but you saw my phone screen. And so it's Ants and A Bug's Life. Ants and A Bug's Life.
I'm just creeping over.
Yeah, creeping. Get out of here. 2 movies came out in the same year, almost the exact same thing. But Ants is a little darker.
Yeah.
A little more like on that Shrek level of like adult humor in it.
Is that DreamWorks?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. It won't let me like click on it.
I'll look it up since mine's not working.
So yeah, Ants and A Bug's Life. Out of these two, which has the better score on Rotten Tomatoes? What do you think?
A Bug's Life.
Wrong.
Really?
They're tied for 92%.
92%.
Yeah.
Holy
Super
crap.
close. I've seen both of these movies a lot. I loved both of these movies as a kid, but I knew that they were basically the same. And I think there are images in my head of one movie being the other movie, you know?
It is DreamWorks.
Makes sense.
But DreamWorks and Pixar?
Yeah, Pixar, yep.
I love both of these movies.
Yeah.
I think, though, it's not exactly the same plot.
It's just really similar
It's
plot.
just similar idea.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could argue same plot, but the turn that these two movies take.
Ants is like Starship Troopers for kids.
Yes.
And Bug's Life is
A Bug's Life.
It's A Bug's Life. It's closer to like Pocahontas kind of level of things, you know?
Yeah.
Like that kind of storytelling.
Let's stop these grasshoppers from raiding. Let's stop these crusaders from crusading.
Yeah. But I did just think of something that might have made a third movie on this list. I think, or at least we shift Bug's Life out of it
with
ants. With ants and a B movie. The B movie. B movie. B movie. Hear me out.
Never seen it.
You've never seen it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so not all the same at all, right?
Okay.
But in Ants, he's a worker ant that wants to be a soldier, right? In B movie, he's a worker, like a little worker bee that wants to go out and fly with the like head honcho dudes, and that's when the whole movie goes freaking sideways, you know? So similar plot. When you break it down to its bare bones. Different bug. Still a bug. Just bare bone plot. Almost the same. So I would rope that one in with Ants and B movie. I think you should watch B movie, but also don't.
Okay.
Like,
is it bad?
I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's so bad that it's good.
Interesting.
It's one of those. And it really is a movie that didn't need to be made because a human is definitely trying to sleep with a bee.
Yuck.
So let's bring it back a little bit to 1989. I want to know if you've seen either one of these movies.
Okay.
And that's K9 and Turner and Hooch.
No.
So both movies about a cop and a dog.
Let me see pictures. No, never seen it.
So one with I think it's Jim Belushi. I'm pretty sure. And Tom Hanks in the other. So I've seen Turner and Hooch.
Same year.
Okay. 1989. I've seen Turner and Hooch too many times.
Really?
I love this movie. My grandma had it on VHS. I watched it all the time. But just think, is everything good behind me? You keep looking out the window. Are we good back here?
Well, you have to call it out.
Because it's freaking me out.
So I'm gonna be honest. I saw some headlights pull up, and it looked like they were like turning into like the driveway area, and the lights have not turned off.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Anyways.
That's it, dude.
There's some shady stuff. It is behind me now. You know what I mean? So it's even worse. But yeah, just think of, you know, at the end of The Sandlot.
You didn't have to freaking call it out.
You needed to stop looking. But you know the end of The Sandlot when the beast finally comes out and it's all like nice, you know, and just slobbering all over everything. Picture that kind of situation with a cop and trying to solve cases. Slobbery, messy dog. And the guy doesn't like dogs. But that's his new partner.
Interesting.
Yeah. Since you know nothing about these movies, which one has a better Rotten Tomato score?
The one with Tom Hanks?
Yeah, Tom Hanks. 1989. So K9 has a 22%, while Turner and Hooch, 50%.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's go back to another. It's, you know, back in 98 again, right? Big ones. Big, huge ones. Like world-ending ones. Deep Impact and Armageddon. I enjoy both of these movies.
I haven't seen Deep Impact in a long time.
I haven't seen either one in a long time, but Armageddon to me is one of those movies where you think it's really badass when you're a kid. When you get older, you realize that it's a love story and it's not as badass as it was when you were a kid.
I see.
Great movies, both of them.
Great soundtrack.
But the fact that in 1998, great soundtrack. 1998, we got 2 Asteroids Are Hitting the Planet movies.
Yeah.
One by Michael Bay.
Okay.
Right? Armageddon.
Michael Bay was making movies back then?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, he made like Bad Boys and all that stuff, right?
He did? I didn't know that.
Let me just pull this up real quick.
Are you going to school me? By the way, headlights are gone.
Just as an update for everyone.
Yeah, just update. Headlights are gone.
All right. 1995, his first big movie. Bad Boys.
Really?
1996, The Rock. 1998, Armageddon. 2001, Pearl Harbor. 2003, Bad Boys 2. 2005, The Island. And then you got Transformers, Pain and Gain, Transformers, 13 Hours, Transformers, 6 Underground, and Ambulance. Those are like the big ones right now.
Wow. What about Wild Wild West?
I don't know who directed that.
I feel like that would have been a Michael Bay movie.
Here we go on
Wild Wild West.
On a tangent.
Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West was directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. You want to know what else Barry Sonnenfeld did?
Yeah, sure.
Men in Black, The Addams Family, and Addams Family Values. Get Shorty, RV.
Wow.
I can keep going if you want, but that's basically most of it.
That's all right.
Series of Unfortunate Events. Space Chimps. But big one. Big. He directed Big with Tom Hanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big one. Big.
But yeah, I probably would want to watch both of these again to see which one is officially better.
Officially better.
But what do you think Rotten Tomatoes thinks?
I'm going to go with, now that you mentioned that it's a love story, I'm going to go with Deep Impact.
Yeah, Deep Impact has a higher Rotten Tomato score.
Wow.
45%.
Wow.
And the score for Armageddon? 38%.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that Armageddon is just so iconic.
It is for the soundtrack, culture. Though, right?
Yeah.
For the song.
But also Ben Affleck.
But also Bruce Willis. I had to make sure I had the right image in my head. But also 2011 hit.
Okay.
I saw one of these movies in theaters.
Okay.
Could I tell you which one? No. I couldn't because they're 100% the same movie. But I think one's a little raunchier than the other. When my thinking is there. And that's No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits. Both came out in 2011. One starring Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman.
Right.
And the other starring
JT,
Justin Timberlake, and Mila Kunis.
That's interesting how they made the same movie at the same time, that released at the same time, and I'm pretty sure
they were together.
They were already together.
Okay, I have a theory. Hot take. Are you ready?
Hot take. Let's go.
I've never heard anyone say this before at all, and I probably 100% wrong. But what if in 2000, let's say 9 to 2010, Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, pissed off at each other the entire time, just so mad, they're a couple, and they're just fighting all the time. So they both make a movie about not being in relationships to get back at one another. You
think?
This just popped into my head right now. So this is my theory to No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits movies coming out the same year.
That's pretty steamy hot, dude.
It would be the hottest goss.
The hottest goss.
Imagine finding that out. Like that is such a FU, you know, to each other.
Especially like, hey,
I'm doing this movie. It's about this.
The raunchier one is the one with Mila Kunis, right?
Yeah. But also, I just want to. I'm gonna throw this out there. If the casting was swapped around a little bit, and it was just Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, it would also be weird because they were together.
Yeah.
As a couple. But also, I think Justin Timberlake and Natalie Portman are more attractive than the Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. It would have been too many good-looking people.
I'm like, what?
You don't know what I'm saying?
You just called Justin Timberlake hot?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hotter than Ashton Kutcher? You don't agree?
Yeah.
No, like for real.
Of course.
And then Mila Kunis, Natalie Portman?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I see
Too much good stuff if they were together in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So another one on the list, we don't have to really get into it because I can promise you I haven't seen one of these movies, and the other one I have only seen once, maybe half a time, and that's Tombstone and Wyatt Earp.
I've seen Tombstone.
Yeah, I've seen most of Tombstone.
Never seen Wyatt Earp.
Tombstone came out in 1993. Wyatt Earp in 1994.
Yeah.
Can you guess the Rotten Tomato scores for these? Which one's higher?
Tombstone.
Duh.
Of course.
How big a
Classic.
difference do you think it is between the two? I'm going to tell you, it's a good one. It's a good distance.
How big of a difference?
Yeah.
Of the Rotten Tomato?
Yep.
Thermometer?
The thermometer? Tomato meter.
I want to say like 40%.
It's pretty good. Because it's 74% to 32%.
Really?
You're pretty freaking close there, bud.
That is almost spot on.
Yeah. Yeah, Tombstone 74 certified fresh.
Certified fresh.
Thanks, Rotten Tomatoes. It makes sure that you know, like they changed the logo. Instead of just a red tomato, it's got the gold circle.
It's not a little splat.
Right, but like this one's not certified fresh. It's just a red tomato.
It's just a red tomato.
Yeah.
Certified fresh.
Sweet. Next one on the list, since we're just breaking them down real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Truman Show and Ed TV. Have you seen either one of these?
I've seen The Truman Show.
Have you heard of Ed TV?
No.
Me
Never.
neither.
Let me see the pic.
Well, I can't show you because of the... Wait, okay, there you go. I got the scores away, so you can still guess them.
No, never heard of it, never seen it.
No, but I feel like now I want to. You know? Because I love... The Truman Show is one of, like, in my top 10 favorite movies.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Gotta be.
That movie is so smart and so... It's also kind of scary.
Yeah, and I also thought, like, that movie was so original.
Right.
And
apparently not.
Whichever came first.
So, Truman Show in 98.
Mm-hmm.
Ed TV 99.
Truman Show definitely inspired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Inspired.
But also, I think the Truman Show is based on, like, an actual thing that happened.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I would love to dive into it. So, let's.
I'd love to talk about this on our podcast. So
I'd love to talk about this in like a setting where people listen to us have conversations online.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Let's do it. So let's bring up the Truman Show's Wikipedia. So it's a 1998 psychological comedy drama directed by Peter Weir and written by, I don't know, the name's cut off. Okay, sick.
Sick.
Andrew Nicole. Starring Jim Carrey, Laura Linney, Noah Emmerich, Natasha McKellen, Ed Harris, Holland Taylor. There's a bunch of people on here. The budget for this movie was $60 million. How much do you think it made box office?
Let's see. 300 million.
Very close. 264 million.
Wow.
You got to remember,
This was in
1998 too.
Yeah,
so
that's still a lot of money.
And it was released June 5th, 1998.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go through here real fast and just figure out how they came up with this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was based on something, and it doesn't seem to be here. But yeah, basically Jim Carrey stars as Truman Burbank, who was selected before he was born to take place in this reality TV show.
He literally
had no choice.
Yeah. Scary.
The spec script that was written for it was more of a science fiction thriller and was set in New York City. But when Paramount purchased the script, they changed it. The original writer rewrote the script while they were waiting for Jim Carrey to sign. Doesn't say it was based on anything, so I could be wrong. But
okay.
Do you think these were being made at the same time? I mean, they're a year apart, right?
Apart. I want to say maybe. Or maybe it's one of those deals where, like, somebody leaked.
Yeah.
Or somebody told another person and.
So Ed TV was directed by Ron Howard.
Okay.
And it stars Matthew McConaughey.
What?
Woody Harrelson.
What?
Ellen DeGeneres. Jenna Elfman. Elizabeth Hurley. Rob Reiner. Like, it's got a ton of people in it, you know?
What are you talking about?
What?
How have we not heard of this movie?
So it's a satirical comedy film directed by Ron Howard, and it's an adaptation of a film. It's in French. I'm not even going to try. But King of the Airwaves.
Okay.
It was released March 26th, 1999. The budget was $80 million. How much do you think it made box office?
100.
$35 million.
Holy that's what I like to call a flop.
A flop. The movie received mixed to positive reviews, with some criticizing its similarity to The Truman Show.
Wow.
And was a box office flop, grossing only $35 million compared to its $80 million production budget.
Yeah.
But this is a network called True TV. Is commencing interviews for a planned reality show that shows a normal person's life 24/7. They interview Ed and his brother Ray, and when the producers see the interview, they choose Ed. The show hits the airwaves under the title Ed TV, and it is a total failure at first, as only boring things happen. The producers want to pull the plug, but Cynthia, who's the producer, is determined that the show will succeed. They discover, oh wow, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to read the whole friggin' story to you.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe this is one that we need to watch to just see and compare, but Matthew McConaughey?
And it flopped?
But I will tell you, The Truman Show's Rotten Tomato score.
Certified
fresh. 95%. You think it's so funny, and it's funny to me because I didn't make it up.
Certified fresh.
But the Ed TV tomato score, 64%.
Wow.
So it's still up there. It's still a good one. Let's laugh about these next ones on the list real quick.
Okay.
So in 2014,
Certified fresh?
No, these are terrible movies. One is significantly more terrible than the other.
A little rotten splat.
Oh yeah. So in 2014, we got two movies about one, like, not superhero, but it's a character from mythology.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie, the duo that came out, the Copycats, one stars The Rock. In those movies, one of them is called Hercules. And the other, you get this? You ready? The Legend of Hercules.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen either one of these. They looked terrible.
I haven't seen either one of them either. But I saw, I think I was following The Rock at the time.
Just walking behind him.
Yeah. I was like, what's he doing?
Well, I'm going to find out.
He's filming Hercules?
Hercules.
No, I was following him on like Instagram or something when he was filming this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy how they like covered up all his tattoos and stuff. So I know that he made that movie.
Right.
Have I seen it? No.
No.
Do I know what it's about?
Hercules.
Sure.
It's probably exactly like
what I meant to say is,
Disney
do I
one.
know if it's good? No.
It's not good. Because the Rotten Tomato score for the Hercules movie starring The Rock got a 58%. But The Legend of Hercules, which has an actor in it, is it a Hemsworth?
No, but I've seen that movie on Max.
What is the dude's name?
I've been tempted to see it.
Kellen Lutz.
Kellen Lutz.
Was he in Twilight? He was in Twilight. That's how I recognized him.
Was he Rupert?
Was
Was he the big stocky
I think so.
vampire one?
I think
Who
so.
didn't really talk?
No, he's Emmett.
Emmett. That's the big stocky one?
I think so.
Let me see. Show me.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I gotta see him in Twilight.
You gotta see him in Twilight.
Yeah, he's the big like football player looking one.
I think so. I don't know. Yeah, but he's Emmett in Twilight. So, but then he decided he was like gonna play Hercules.
Hey, let's get the buffest vampire we can find.
Yeah.
And name him Emmett. What a great idea. The buffest jockey
when he
football
was a baby,
looking
though,
man.
When he was a baby, he wasn't buff.
Let's name him Emmett. Hey, we're casting for a vampire movie.
Uh-huh.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Oh, you're looking pretty strong there.
Thanks.
Your character's name is Emmett.
No, I'm good, dog. I'm out. No, hilarious. But can you guess what The Legend of Hercules received on Rotten Tomatoes? Just take a wild guess.
Which one?
The Legend of Hercules.
With
Emmett? Yeah.
32%.
Nope.
25%.
Nope.
15.
Nope.
10.
Nope.
8.
No.
5.
5%.
5%?
5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Those are like Electra numbers.
Those are like the movies we made in high school numbers. We got a 6 on one of our movies.
Yeah, Thermometer.
Yeah. I don't plan on seeing either one of those movies. Just saying.
Now I wanna, because I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Pop up every once in a while.
I want to talk about another big one.
Mm-hmm.
Came out while we were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
When we were like really active in making movies and seeing movies. We saw movies a lot in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we saw both of these movies in theaters. And that's Paul Blart Mall Cop, starring Kevin James.
Yep.
And Observe and Report, starring Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
One of these is significantly better than the other. One of these is so over the top and silly that I still laugh at it when I watch it now, because it is so freaking dumb that I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
And that's Observe and Report. It is so good.
Yeah.
For what it is.
And that one is more raunchier
it is
too, right?
Straight up rated R, like
with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Blart Mall Cop. The
just stupid.
The ongoing joke in that movie is
Segway and
fat guy fall down on Segway.
Diabetes.
Yeah. No, seriously. Seriously. The amount of times that people in that movie are like, you need pie? And he's like, no, I need all the pie. And you're like, okay. But seriously, Observe and Report is great. Like, if you want a raunchy late 2000s movie, that's one of them.
I don't even remember that movie, to be honest.
If you started watching it, it all floods back to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But same movie. One is way funnier than the other. Mm-hmm. The other, it just makes jokes about segways. Speaking of segways, The Prestige and The Illusionist both came out in 2006. Have you seen either one of these?
Let me see.
The Prestige and The Illusionist.
No, I have not.
So one of these is Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, and the other is Edward Norton, and I think Paul Giamatti's in it. I've only heard of these movies because when I do like research and think about movies and copycat movies and twin movies, blah blah blah.
Right.
These ones are on every single list all the time. But the funniest thing about this is most of the time with movies like this, these copycat movies, one is usually significantly better than the other.
Yeah.
The Rotten Tomato score for each one of these movies is only separated by 3%.
Really?
They are both certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. You laugh every time, but I have to say it because it's trademarked, okay? Not a sponsor.
Certified fresh.
Certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, which means they both saw positive reviews, rarely any negatives. So with 76% for The Prestige and 73% for The Illusionist.
Wow.
but I haven't seen either one.
I haven't either.
I probably should.
I see both of them pop up too when I'm like scrolling through movies or whatever. Especially the Prestige. I think that one's also on Max.
I think so too. I thought the movie The Majestic was part of that duo, so I watched it one day. It's not, but it was really good. So I want to talk about. We have a couple more on the list. I want to speed through just a handful of them real fast, so we can just acknowledge their existence because they need to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
So let's start with Babe and Gordy, both from 1995.
What's Gordy?
Gordy is a talking pig who made it big. And
Babe
wants to be a sheepdog.
And his Babe.
Yep.
How do you not know Babe?
Babe and Babe Pig in the City.
And Charlotte's Web.
Not the same. Babe, though, on Rotten Tomatoes, 97%. Fresh. Gordy.
Certified fresh.
Yeah, Gordy, 21%.
Wow.
Yeah. Next one, Happy Feet and Surf's Up.
I love Surf's Up.
Happy Feet came out in 2006. Surf's Up in 2007. Which of those two do you think has a better score?
Happy Feet.
Wrong. Surf's Up.
Really?
Surf's Up. 79% to 76%.
I want to say Surf's Up had a better story.
When I think about both of these movies, Surf's Up is hilarious. It's funny. It's got like lots of jokes.
Happy Feet is Footloose with Penguin.
Yeah. But all I can remember from the trailers from Happy Feet is that it was like, oh, dancing saves the universe kind of vibes, you know?
Yeah.
And Elijah Wood. That's it.
Elijah Wood was in that movie?
He's the main penguin.
He is?
Yeah.
What?
Let's touch on these real fast.
Okay, touch me.
So 2000 or it sounds weird when I say it that way. 2022. We had two big movies come out. I saw both of them. I don't know if you saw both of them. 2022. One has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. The other is a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I saw half of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So you got
I got Everything Everywhere,
but not all
but
at
I
once.
didn't get all at once. Yeah.
The movie is separated into thirds like that, though.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When they put the... Yeah. Got it.
But anyways, I don't agree that these should be on the list together.
No, but...
I understand why they are.
Because of the multiverse.
But I do think that Marvel setting up the multiverse is what led to everything going off. You know? Like, when I say everything, I mean the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, yep. It's a long title. But everything... E-E-A-O.
E-E-A-O.
And Bingo was his name-o.
E-A-O.
But Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yep.
Significantly better than Doctor Strange. It is way more fun look into the multiverse, and it is so different.
It's like a more realistic version of the multiverse rather than, superheroes.
But also, people just didn't like Multiverse of Madness all that much, so that causes some problems. I liked both the movies. I enjoyed both of them very much. Yeah. But Everything got a 96, whereas Doctor Strange 74. Yeah.
E-E-A-O.
And then let's hit this last one on the list. Talking about twin movies. One of these movies I think is significantly better than the other as well. All right. One of these movies never had sequels. The other one has another sequel coming out this year.
Really?
Both animated movies.
Okay.
One stars Will Ferrell. One stars Steve Carell. What am I talking about?
Megamind. And Steve Carell.
You can get it. You can get it. It's there. Animated.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these came out in 2010.
Steve Carell. Oh, Despicable Me.
Despicable Me. So Despicable Me has had, 17 sequels?
Something like that.
And Megamind's got nothing?
Mm-hmm.
I think Megamind is way better.
Megamind is awesome.
It is so much more fun. It's so much more interesting.
I wouldn't put the 2 and 2 together, though.
About bad guys becoming good guys?
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. And the good guy is not the good guy, technically, right?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. All right, that's Brad Pitt.
In Megamind. I don't remember.
The superhero he pretends to die, but he's just hiding in a cave.
Yeah.
Megamind is so fun, and it felt really original at the time.
Mm-hmm. I
watched it before I saw Despicable Me. I'm one of the Minion haters. I'm just going to say it. I think
I'm going to say it.
I don't care that you broke your elbow. That's a burn. It's different. I also I wasn't going to point it out. So I burned myself at work. It's gross, disgusting, and blistered, and I didn't want it to look like that on the podcast. So purple arm bandage.
Yeah. You pointed out me looking behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's less obvious.
Watch it back. Okay? Because you'll see me look at you the first time you did it, and then the second time. Yeah. But if I turn around, it's a lot more obvious than you just looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
But it's also, if I just did this to you for the rest of the episode, you feel it, right? You feel it?
I feel like you're looking at me.
But I'm not. But I am? I'm not. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying now.
Megamind.
Better movie. Is a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the Minions. That's where I was. I think the Minions have had their time. They had their time before their time.
Yeah.
There's too many Minions. They're on shirts and stickers and lunchboxes and blah, blah, blah. Minion stuff everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of it.
But they're funny.
I don't think they're funny.
Really?
I don't.
I think it's funny. I don't love it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
The Minions aren't fun to me. But Megamind, fun.
Fun. Super fun.
The Spider.
Fun.
Even though I hate spiders, it's more fun than the Minions.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. That's my opinion.
Understood.
That's my opinion.
I get it.
But yeah, there's lots of twin movies, lots of copycat movies, some better than others, some worse than others.
Will it ever stop?
I don't know.
Will it ever stop?
I don't know.
Will it ever stop?
I'm not sure what you're doing. I was quoting back to you.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. Yeah, but I forgot
the next part. Yeah. So you were just gonna keep going until you got there.
Will it ever stop?
I don't know. Something and I'll
give
glow.
Me the mic and I'll blow to the extreme or rock a mic like a vandal.
Yeah. Something on the candle.
Something on the candle. Dance. Got it.
Yeah, there's lots of copycat movies out there. Mm-hmm. They're never going to stop. We're going to be getting copycat movies till the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
They started in 1913.
Yep.
That's
probably the first movie ever created.
No.
2 of them at the same time.
Nope. It's not.
Just kidding.
But yeah, we're probably going to get more throughout this year.
Mm.
There's more movies out there than you realize that are these copycat movies. And is it a bad thing to have this thing going on? Is it a horrible thing?
No, I don't think so. I just think it's interesting when they're made at the same time,
mm-hmm.
released at the same time,
mm-hmm.
and essentially the same movie.
Yeah. I think it's fun to think about these kinds of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to put it together, like for it to click. Because you showing me the trailer for Imaginary, the reason I didn't care about the trailer for Imaginary is because I saw the trailer for If before, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, oh, it's the same movie, another copycat movie.
Yeah.
But it's cool to, like, think about the amount of copycat movies, like Twister and that one called Tornado.
Yeah.
That came out 10 days apart.
That's crazy.
Tornado came out first.
Really?
And Twister succeeded, and now we have a sequel to Twister.
20 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, Megamind, I still hear quoted all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Despicable Me still going hard.
Yeah.
So
swinging.
What else did we talk about on our list today?
Truman Show and Ed TV.
Yeah, The Truman Show. I can watch that movie all the time. And
Iconic.
now I want to watch Ed TV.
Me too. You should find it.
I will. But also, like, thinking about it, it's like the fact that they're almost the same or have the same interests, same plot, same stories, same ideas, doesn't deter me from wanting to watch it. The Rotten Tomato score kind of makes me not want to watch it, but it wasn't that low.
Yeah.
It was still at a 60, right?
Yeah, it was still...
And the fact that it flopped...
So the most surprising part is the flop, but it could have been...
It was too close to The Truman Show.
It'd be like, Truman Show? No.
The Truman Show is too good, and it overshadowed.
Yeah.
And then there's movies like The Wild and Madagascar.
What's that? Exactly.
Madagascar comes out swinging. Or the Prestige and The Illusionist. We haven't seen either one.
We got to watch it.
We should probably watch them both now, and then we'll make like a side movie or a side video about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like... These copycat movies aren't the end of the world. Deep Impact, Armageddon, they both have their place in people's hearts, in their souls, in their minds. I don't care if I watch either one of them again.
Yeah.
But going through that list, I want to watch Deep Impact because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
I can picture most of Armageddon. But also, have you ever thought of that movie Space Cowboys? That just popped in my head.
Not in a long time.
But there's a lot of movies on this list.
I don't want to close my eyes. Don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to miss a thing.
And I will tell you, I'm going to make you watch Turner and Hooch.
Okay.
Because it's such
I love Tom Hanks.
It's a huge part of my childhood because, like I said, I watched it all the time. So, but maybe we just need to go make a whole thing about reviewing copycat movies now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what we did, but we just unveiled the idea that this is a thing that happens to people who might not really know that it's happening.
Yeah, we just took the curtain off the couch.
The veil has been lifted. Exactly. But Juan, out of all these movies, what do you think stood out the most to you? What was like a shocker?
A shocker?
Yeah, well, like what was maybe not like a shock, but like what was like didn't think about it like that kind of thing.
Megamind
and
Despicable Me.
Yeah.
I never like ever thought about it like that. I want to say the Truman Show one too, because to this day, like till today, I was years old. Mm-hmm. I'd never heard of Ed TV.
Yeah.
So
I've definitely heard the name, but I've never seen it. So
never.
And I didn't know what it was about. So
on True TV.
Yeah, but it was spelled different than the True TV we know today.
Yeah.
But there's tons of copycat movies out there. If there's any that we missed, let us know.
Drop it in the comments. But also, you can like shoot us a message or follow us or like or whatever on like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch at BJ_. And if you're listening on any of the streaming services like Spotify, Apple, Google, I think that's one. Google Podcasts,
Apple Podcasts, which I think is just called Podcast now.
Oh.
Make sure you're following us so you can know when we put out episodes.
Yeah.
Or go watch us on YouTube.
At BJ Podcast.
And if you're already on YouTube, go down below. Hit that big red button that says subscribe. Hit the like button.
Hit the mother effing bell.
Just ring that bell so hard that
it falls off.
And there's a new crack in the Liberty Bell. And
ring that bell like Quasimodo.
Nick Cage gonna be trying to find a new treasure to steal and put it. Also, national treasure, Indiana Jones, Quasimodo. Put all them into a movie. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of BJ in the Morning. I'm Brendan,
and I'm Juan, and we will talk to you next time.
I was like, I didn't do it the first.
And we will talk to you next time.